Hey Leo, happy birthday. It's Erica with Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. Sorry about my incense. It's getting right up in the viewfinder. So, how's about that? Um, Once again, happy birthday. This is the new moon forecast for y'all for August 2016. This new moon will be occurring on August the 2nd, but I have a couple of announcements. I'll have all of this time stamped for you, and so yeah, here we go. First, welcome, wow, and thank you to the now over 300 subscribers that have joined this channel in the last month. Y'all are blowing me away. Yeah, I'm speechless. Thank you so much. I'm so full of gratitude. Really. I'm stunned. Yes, I do private readings. No, I am not doing them right now. I'm having problems with my financial institutions wanting to do verification purposes for me. So it's been quite an interesting situation. I've got Saturn transiting my second house, so it's been a situation of this too shall pass, even if it feels like a kidney stone. But the second thing, I'm going to have some links below in the description. I'm going to have a link to the June new moon forecast. I'm going to have a link to the July new moon forecast. And I'm going to have a link to the 1 degree Sagittarius vlog that I did at the beginning of the summer, because it speaks very strongly about a fixed star called Antares, which will be very, very prominent in the mid-month of August for us. When you're watching these videos, make sure, especially in the new moon videos, the June and July videos, pay attention to the Saturn square Neptune aspects, because that's going to be something that's very familiar to you. Thirdly, I'm issuing an Astro Nerd alert. The next video series that I'll be releasing is for the full moon lunar eclipse at 25 degrees Aquarius on August the 18th. And the secondary part to that is that we're going to have a solar eclipse in September, and this will be squaring Saturn, which is going to highlight issues of fear and guilt for us as a collective and on an individual level. So Leo, I'm going to get to your information for the Leo Sun and Leo Risers out there. If you're here for the Tarot, I'll have that timestamp down below. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Wow. I'll be right back, Leo. Hey, Leo, I'm back with your astrology now. On the 2nd of August, you're going to be experiencing a new moon in your first house. You'll have the Sun, the Moon, and Venus all in the first house. The Sun represents your self-will and your life force, the creation that is you. The Moon represents your response and intuition, and Venus is the planet that represents love, beauty, and harmony. The first house is the house of personality, physical body, and appearance. So you may really be feeling yourself come around this new moon, which is nice. It's always a nice thing to feel good about yourself. You'll be experiencing an easy flow of energy from the Sun to Saturn, which is in your 5th house. This will be a trine. Saturn is the planet that represents limitation, containment, and structure. The 5th house speaks to pleasure, children, social life, creativity, and so there will be an easy flow between your 1st and 5th house, which is nice. But from Saturn in your 5th house, there will be a square to Neptune in your 8th house. Neptune is the planet of illusion, imagination, nebulousness. It can also speak to addictions. The 8th house is the house of life, death, rebirth, other people's money, regeneration, transformation, metamorphosis, and sexuality. So there will be stressful obstacles brought up between your 5th and your 8th house at around this new moon. Also on the 2nd, we're going to have the planet Mercury and the planet Jupiter in your 2nd house. Mercury represents communication, thought, and movement. Jupiter is the planet that represents excess, achievement, and expansion. The 2nd house is the house that speaks to money, possessions, self-esteem, and earning ability. So that's a really, it's always nice to get communication and movement in the second house, especially if it's excess, right? Always nice. Also, in your ninth house, you'll have the newly retrograded Uranus. The planet Uranus represents change, liberation, and rebellion. It's also known as the planet of shocks and surprises, or electricity. The ninth house speaks to long-distance trips, higher education, religion, philosophy, and legal system matters. You've got the planet Pluto in your sixth house, which is a long transit. Pluto is the planet of deep renewal and deep transformation. Sixth house is the planet of work and health, or skills and competency that you bring to the services that you provide. You also have the Centaur asteroid Chiron going retrograde in your eighth house as well. And Chiron represents where you have been wounded and where you are in need of healing and reintegration of energy. So that's what's going on for you around the new moon. This new moon, once again, is at 10 degrees, almost 11 degrees of Leo. On the 3rd, pardon me. Oh, my face is itching. Excuse me. On August the 3rd, we have Mars moving into your 5th house. So you'll have Mars and Saturn conjoining, and that's a pretty forceful energy. Mars is the planet of energy, impulse, and aggression, moving into your 5th house of pleasure, social life, children, and creativity. Could be feeling very physical, Leo. And that's the most PG-13 way I could put it. Could be feeling very physical, which is nice. On the 6th, we have Venus joining Mercury and Jupiter in your 2nd house, and Venus represents love, beauty, harmony, and resources, so that moving into your 2nd house is really good energy as well. You might be getting information about money coming your way, which is pretty cool. Congratulations, Leo. From the 12th to the 17th, we have the Jupiter-Chiron opposition, and this will be going on between your 2nd and your 8th house. Jupiter in your 2nd house and Chiron in your 8th house. The 2nd house speaks to money, possessions, earning ability, and self-esteem. 8th house is other people's money, regeneration and transformation, metamorphosis, sexuality, life, death, rebirth, or birth. So, this could be dealing with money and other people's money, or how you earn, and it could be going through a transformative process. Comment down in the section below so we can figure out what's going on with you and how these aspects are affecting you, and because not everyone will experience it the same way. That's the beautiful thing about astrology. During this week, on the 13th, we're going to have Saturn, the planet of structure, limitation, and containment, going station direct at 9 degrees of Sagittarius. And this is in your 5th house. But the reason that I'm highlighting this is because this is going to happen on top of the fixed star Antares, which is a malefic star. It's got some pretty bad energy with it. I happen to have dealt with that very personally with Saturn going direct, hanging out on my natal Antares. That was the night of the house fire. So around this time there could be some very abrupt truth in religion or philosophy, possibly dealing with your children or your social life. Could be dealing with sports or borders. That's dealing more with the Sagittarius kind of energy. The 5th house is pleasure, social life, children, and creativity. So you could be undergoing a new way of thinking about things. Just be careful and understand that this is a very crazy time. It's got some dangerous energy with it. So I definitely recommend you going watching the, if nothing else, Antares vlog, so you can hear more about what that fixed star means and where it can manifest. The last thing astrologically I want to speak about very quickly is on the 18th, you'll be experiencing a full moon lunar eclipse at 25 degrees of Aquarius, and this will be occurring for you in your 7th house, Leo. The 7th house is how you identify with others. It's partnerships, counseling, also open enemies. And open enemies could be speaking in open court, testifying against someone, or something to that effect. So, I'm going to transition over to the tarot portion now. I'll have all of this time stamped. Don't forget to go check the other videos that I've got linked below for more information, or maybe a broader discussion on things or energies that might be relevant for you, or confirmation of things that have happened for you here recently in the past. Once again, happy birthday. Thank you so much for being here. I'll be right back. Hang tight, y'all. Hi Leo, I'm back with the tarot cards. I've been meditating and shuffling, asking Spirit to bring forth the messages, the general messages for my Leo friends for this August new moon. I'm going to pull the bottom card and the top 3 for clarity, and I'll also pull you an oracle card from the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. That deck is by Elena Fairchild, and the artwork is done by Autumn Sky Morrison. It's a beautiful oracle card deck. While I was shuffling off camera and meditating, the cards, like half of them fell out of my hand during a shuffle. So it may feel like things are not completely in your control or out of your hands. Or it may feel like you are struggling to keep everything, all your plates spinning, or something to that effect. Like you're not completely in control. Okay. That's like 3 cards right there. I'm going to say that's your... Oh, wow. Yeah, 2 of those cards were the cards that trying to get bottom card for clarity. Got the top 3. I'm sorry that I cut myself off. What I was trying to say was 2 of these cards were actual cards that fell face up when I was shuffling off camera. And whenever that happens, when I start shuffling again, I ask Spirit to, if those were the cards that were meant to be seen, to bring them again, to show them again. Okay. Let me get your oracle card. Oh, you got a land. Okay, you got a Lanyard birthday card. All right. I'm going to go ahead and write down the numbers for correlating the numerology for the houses, so I don't have to stop and do that later. Okie doke. The bottom card for the overarching energy, or the underlying theme, if I could speak, is the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles represents earth energy for me. Earth energy is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. This could be you, your moon, or your rising sign. this could also be the person that is bringing you the message about the raise or the job or the opportunity for resources. I love that he's in the upright because that means that this message is coming to you as a gift. The Pentacles are exactly that. They represent resources or anything that you could expend on another living thing or a situation. You may be receiving a check via snail mail, because this always represents a slower paced message for me. If it was a night, then it would be like a direct deposit or something to that effect. But whatever it is, it's grounded both, I mean, it's planted firmly on the ground. It's rooted. And it's stable. It's got both hands underneath of it and both feet firmly on the ground. That could definitely be speaking to Venus going into your second house on the 6th, which is nice. The first card that you got that fell for you in the upright was the Ten of Pentacles, which is wonderful. The 10 speaks to your 10th house, which is career, status, destiny, reputation. I think of it as the stage that you approach the world on and how the world knows you. It could also be dealing with authorities or people in authority. The Ten of Pentacles is the most pentacles that you're going to see, and it looks like it's like pennies falling from heaven for me. And it could be generational wealth. It could be that you are getting money through an inheritance. Or money to go back to school. Money through somebody that you know or an association. Possibly, it may be insurance, and I say that because of something that the next card that's coming up. This is dealing with other people's money is what I'm feeling. 8th house energy. And I say that because of the Tower. You got the Tower in reverse, and you would always prefer to have the Tower in reverse as opposed to the Tower upright, but every card has its good and its bad. The Tower is the 26th card of the Major Arcana. The 26, or 2 plus 6 is 8, and you're having Neptune in your 8th house. You've got Saturn squaring Neptune from your 5th to your 8th house. This could definitely be dealing with, like I said, I feel like this is other people's money, and this is dealing with 8th house energy. The 8th house speaks to other people's money, regeneration, sexuality, life, death, rebirth, primal or basic instinct. Looking at the Tower itself as a tarot card, the Tower is symbolic of the planet Mars. Mars is the planet of energy, impulse, and aggression, and Mars is moving into your 5th house on the 3rd. You've got the 5th house squaring your 8th house. This really feels like this is an insurance kind of situation, either dealing with your car or dealing with your home. Make sure you've got your insurance paid up and all of your insurance forms together, because this feels like it's coming up. But if you have your insurance papers handled, that's why this, if your insurance is in place, that's why this is in the reverse. And the way that this fell, that the Page of Swords is your 3rd card that fell. And these were the 2 cards that fell out of my hands when I was shuffling off camera. And they fell in this position, honestly. But the Page of Swords, whoops, see, I can't keep my hands on stuff. The Page of Swords looks like he's willing to defend whatever's going on right here, or he's willing to protect what is his. He's standing guard. Almost like a safety net. Because this is the undercard. He's standing guard for this right here. The Page of Swords could represents, for me, air sign energy. Air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. It does not have to be that sign. It could be their moon or their rising sign. You would not know that unless you looked at their natal chart. This guy may not be clear on all of the details as to what has happened because of this cloud right here next to his head. Be honest in what has gone on so they can help defend this Page of Pentacles situation. The Tower in reverse speaks to a crisis or a profound discovery or profound awakening. The fact that it's in the... I feel like you're protected because it's in the reverse. The Tower in reverse is surrounded by the Ten of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. And that Page of Swords is defending for the Page of Pentacles, who doesn't have his eye on what's going on right now. Is what I'm seeing for you. The way that the cards added up, you have the Ten of Pentacles, and the Tower is the 26th card. So 10 plus 26 is 36. 3 plus 6 is 9. And that speaks to long-distance trips, higher education, philosophy, religion, and legal matters. And this guy right here could also be a lawyer. Because the Swords court cards use their words to defend and protect. I also think that this is important, the number 9, because of the planet Saturn going station direct at 9 degrees of Sagittarius, because Sagittarius rules the 9th house as well. This is occurring for you, Leo, in your 5th house. So that square that's going on between Saturn and Neptune, between your 5th and your 8th house, is a pretty important deal. You may be, once again, 5th house is pleasure, social life, children, and creativity. The 8th house is life, death, rebirth, other people's money, primal instinct. If this is not you, this is someone close to you. I definitely suggest you go watch your rising sign videos to get any more messages that might be coming forth. Because this is what the Tarot's bringing to me, is that there's a lot of money, a lot of resources, you're covered on all bases, and then it's like the rug gets pulled from underneath of you, but you have somebody here that's the safety net that's going to defend, that's going to protect, and he's protecting this seed, this money, this resource coming to you. Make sure you have your insurance in place, Leo, because it looks like you're going to need it. It's always good. And this is coming from somebody who didn't have renter's insurance. I lost everything in a house fire. It's always better to be safe than sorry. That insurance payment is not that much in comparison to everything that you could lose. And this is coming from experience. I've walked many miles in those moccasins. Okay, so you got 2 oracle cards that fell for you. You got... I don't remember which one was the first one out, but you got one and the other one's Lanyap. So yay, happy birthday. I'll go numerically. How about that? The first of the 2, numerical order, is focus on the light. I love the sunflower because the sunflower makes me think of y'all, Leo. It really does. I mean, the sun is your ruling luminary, sun, sunflowers. You know, even on the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot card, on the sun card, it has little sunflowers all over it. So I think of y'all when I think of sunflowers instantaneously. The words at the bottom says focus on the light, which I think is a beautiful message, especially after the last month that we've had. The number is 37. 3 plus 7 is 10. That speaks to your career, status, reputation, the authorities or authority figures in your world, and destiny. I also call it the stage that you approach the world on and how the world knows you. if you look at this from a elevated or a, what is the word I'm trying to think of? Anyways, this looks like an eye. This looks like the pupil. You see how it looks like one giant eye? I don't know the word for what that I'm trying to describe this with, but yeah. And I love how she's got her hands cupping the light, protecting it. It's not just, she's not just focused on it, she's protecting it. She's protecting it like this. And look at how funny. Do you see? And they're even in the same stance. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's pretty cool, y'all. The other oracle card you got was the word wants to be written. The butterflies, for me, instantaneously speaks to metamorphosis, life, death, rebirth. That's 8th house energy for me. I love that her eyes are closed because she's following her gut through this world. She's not necessarily basing everything on what she sees. She knows that there are things that there's information from her gut feeling that can be much stronger than any fact she's given. The number is 42. 4 plus 2 is 6, and 6 speaks to the 6th house, which is work and health, or the skills and competency that you bring to the services that you provide. I'm going to look up the book real quick. 37. Focus on the light says, a tremendous force of light is gathering around you. It is attracted to the purity of your intention to create from your heart. As your intention grows, so does the light. As the light grows, so does your intention. Magic wants to happen for you now. The synchronicity, perfect timing, opportunities, and information that are needed will seem to be drawn right to your door. You may start to feel as if you cannot walk outside without stumbling into something helpful, wonderful, or inspiring. Sometimes success can be like a powerful mirror and a shining searchlight as it shows up what was already within someone or a group of people. Under the spotlight of success, it is more intense, amplified, and obvious. This can give us an opportunity to sow our seeds of our own destruction or to work on what arises from a heart-centered perspective to create a firmer foundation that supports an even greater attainment. This oracle brings an assurance of success of the highest order, not just commercially, but from the heart. It will manifest as a highly valuable offering to the world. This applies to a project, endeavor, or organization in which you are involved. Your heart will help you realize which group or project it applies to. It may be more than one. However, you must stay focused. Enjoy the glittering lights of success, but do not be distracted by them. Stay on point with what you want to create and why. Stay true to yourself. Sorry if you heard my dryer in the background. It's laundry day. This oracle brings another message. Do not be distracted by other paths around you at this time, as you are too close to succeeding on the one you are on right now. Diluting your energies in the pursuit of too much will slow down your success, and the world needs your light to shine sooner rather than later. In time, you may diversify and explore other ways to express yourself, but for now, build what you are working on and know that success is coming swiftly. Number 42. This oracle brings you the message that what you are dreaming of or seeking to do, create, live, or manifest is actually very natural for you, and that is why you want to do it. If you experienced controlling and manipulative forces as you were growing up, you would have found it hard to access your natural state at the time. You would have been too busy trying to adapt and just get through the trials of childhood. When you finished navigating childhood and started to let go of who you were taught to be in order to become who you really are, You may have found your life path was not easily accessible. That is simply because your true and natural self was covered by layers of shame from the early conditioning that you had to be other than you are in order to win love or to be acceptable. What you want to write, sing, dance, or become is you. It's natural. Drop your defenses and get into the grit and confront the power that any old shaming has had over you. It's finished now, and it's time for you to be naked with yourself and acknowledge how gorgeous you are and get on with your work. Life is urging you to do so because the work wants to happen. What you want to create wants to be created. The words want to be written. You just need to let go of any remnants of the past that have been in your way. Step firmly over them and onto your path. I don't think that could be any more beautiful for your new moon reading, Leo, because this is a new moon in Leo. This is your opportunity to plant a seed and watch it grow. I urge you to do that. I urge you to focus on ninth house energy because that's where the shocks and surprises are. The ninth house is long-distance trips, higher education, philosophy, religion, legal matters, even astrology. Leo, I hope that this reading was empowering to you. I hope that it was enlightening, and I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be back around for the full moon eclipse series videos very soon. Thank y'all so much for your patience this week. Thank you so much for being so kind and being here and sharing your time with me. I hope you have a wonderful birthday, Leo. Take care of yourselves, and until the full moon, namaste, y'all.